India and the US have signed the terms of reference for a potential bilateral trade agreement between both the countries, which both the countries intend to finalize by September or October of 2025. Also, the Commerce Ministry has yet not clarified on whether there would be a further pause on the current 90-day pause on reciprocal tariffs from the United States, since both the countries are already in discussions for a bilateral trade agreement in which virtual discussions are slated to start later this week, and in-person physical discussions will continue from the second half of May 2025, in which Indian officials are likely to travel for further talks to the United States. Also, India and the US are looking to reduce tariff as well as non-tariff barriers as far as trade between both the countries is concerned, and India is seeking to go for trade liberalization with the United States with removal of any such barriers. Apart from that, India has also set up an import monitoring cell which comprises of officials from the Department of Commerce, the DGFT, the DPIIT and the CBIC. Now this cell is going to keep a close eye on imports of several commodities from various countries which are already facing high reciprocal tariffs from the United States. Now the rationale behind setting up this cell is that several countries like China, Indonesia and Vietnam are facing high reciprocal tariffs from the United States, which means that several goods and merchandise from these countries may get diverted into India due to excess capacities available at their respective ports. So it remains to be seen what action would be initiated by India in curbing the excess imports of several commodities from these countries to protect the interests of local Indian manufacturers. Also, if we speak of trade diversion or the rise in imports in the previous financial year, in the financial year which had just ended, that is FY 24-25, the top 10 imported commodities in value had witnessed a surge in 8 of these commodities, and there was only a fall in imports of iron and steel and coal, coke and briquettes. The highest increase in imports in the previous financial year was a 3.9% rise year on year in imports of petroleum and related products, and the next two commodities had witnessed an even more significant rise, which includes a 12.3% rise in imports of electronic goods and a 27.38% year on year rise in imports of gold. So clearly the import monitoring cell is going to keep a close watch on imported goods from several countries, particularly countries like China, Vietnam and Indonesia.